All right, let's see if I can get this video done before I get interrupted again. I was just going to do a quick check-in on my hickory bow build. This is the big stave that I worked out and roughed out Sunday. I completely left it alone Monday. I was going to work on it a little bit Monday afternoon, but it just didn't happen. So it just gave it an extra day to cure. But what I did do is, if you can see the line there, is I just took a pencil and I scribed all along the length of that. So I kind of missed this knot. You can see it there. There's a little bit of glare on this deal, or on my angle. But if you look right there, you can see how close I already am to that line. And now that line's just a guide. What I'll do is I'll take my mora and I'll start carving down to that line, probably starting at the tips and working my way back toward the handle. Then I'll flip it around and I'll do the same thing. And because right now this has a real stiff bend, so it does need to be let up a little bit. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to round it. So you see right here, I kind of have a round profile. What I'll do is I'll take my knife and I'll work at an angle down to that line. So I'm almost there, right there. So I'll probably start on this side and I'll work at an angle, and then I'll actually round this, the back of it. So what that'll give me is it'll give me a nice round profile, but as I need to weaken in stiff spots, I'll just take a little bit out of the crown of that. I was going to also just throw out some tips. Going back to this one before I go to those, you can notice how smooth my finish is. There's a little bit of grain tear out, but that's part of this final deal. That is left over from it being split, and some of it as I hogged the large pieces off. I do most of this with just a mora knife. Some people use a farrier's file or wood rasp, which is totally fine. I don't, because I can usually get enough control and real fine with this. And it's not that I have a great knife skill. It's because I have worked, as long as I've been making bows for the last few years, I've also been working on feather sticks. And I've just learned to make real fine shavings, and that's all I really work with. So I can take just a lot down, and I can do it because I have that Scandi knife. Now, I made a point on, I think a video a little ways back, point of fact about like survival bows or field expedient bows, and how the SAS handbook says to make multiples, because in that case you're making green bows and you'll wear them out. Well, there's another reason to make multiple bows in, like say you're trying to make a bow and you're not very good at it, or you're just starting, or like that you are in a survival situation or whatever, because even if you make a great bow and you use it and you wear it out, you may have a complete failure too. I had 3 staves. I have not touched the other one because it's maple and I'm working on a hickory bow, but I had a lot of my bows, I can get 2 bows out of 1 stave. So I got 2 bows out of the small stave, and as I pointed out in my one on this one, on my big stave, I only got 1 bow out of it because it planed. When I split it, it went off to the side. Well, I actually only got, so you think I have 3 bows, but I actually only have 2, because that one that bent on me when I started, both my staves halves were straight. This thing really bent on me. You can see that if I line these tips up. This thing has taken off, and I have steamed and I've straightened this one, and for some reason it just keeps going back. So I'm not going to keep fussing with it. So out of 4 potential bows, I only got 2. So that's another thing. If you go ahead and cut one log, maybe go ahead and cut another. I started on these little bows. This is the bow that I got out of that other half. these were practice bows too. So the failure on these ones was okay because I haven't worked with hickory in a while, since probably the first of the year, and I haven't made a bow in a few months because I waited. I basically haven't made bows all summer. I stopped in late spring. I've played with a couple of bows, so I did make like one, but they were all hornbeam or musclewood, and so I wanted to get the feel for hickory. So I went ahead and guinea pigged these two little bows to get before I even started this big bow. So I'm going to go ahead and probably sometime today, maybe I'll start taking this down to this line, and again, that's just a guide. And because as I trim it down and even things out, because like that, this line's here, it's probably a 1/4 inch of material, and this line's almost touching the edge. So I'll just round that out, make it even, and then I'll be checking my tiller as I maybe not my tiller, but my bend in it, my floor tiller in it, as I go, and then I'll probably be ready to put a string on it. Because another part that I need to do is I think I need to thin these tips down just a little bit, make them about as wide as my thumb, and you can see that's just a little wider than my thumb. So just trim those edges down just a little bit. So, anyways, that's just a quick, not really an update, but like a check-in on this guy, and I'll let you know. I'll probably just finish this thing out and maybe do like a video where I'm shooting it and everything, and let you know how it actually turns out in the end.